Friday's a work day for us today, so get ready to rock and roll. The distributive property. All right, excellent property, excellent math today. Let's get circled up 1 to 16. Here we go. And that's going to be on page 489. Right here we go. 1 through 16. I love the distributive property. It's an outstanding property that we use a lot, and you're probably using it already right now without even knowing it, right? Okay, and then we're going to jump to numbers 19 to 34, which is really 20. Okay, so yes, we are. You may need your calculator for this. You may not. We'll see. We'll see. Let's just go up to 32 there, okay? Okay, sounds good. All right, so the distributive property says, all right, a lot to us. It speaks to us here, okay? So, I could read all this stuff. I think it's better if I just jump right into it here, okay? All right, so the distributive property, we're going to start on page 488, right into the guided practice, okay? And I think it's important that we just start talking about it, right? Okay. So the big thing here is understanding an expanded form, okay? It says in mental math, it says find 9 times 8 and 2/3. Well, I don't know about you, but I can't do that too well, okay? And show your steps. Well, to me, what we need to do is break this number down, all right? And when I break that number down, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to break it down to 8 plus 2/3. I write that in expanded form. So now what I'm going to do is multiply 9 by both of those. And let's see if it helps. 9 times 8 plus 9 times 2/3. Okay. So what we did was we distributed the 9 through both of these numbers after we have written it in expanded form. So 9 times 8 is 72. All right. And then if we take that and put it over 1, if you recall how to multiply the fractions, 3 times 2 is 6 over 1, which is 6. 6 plus 72 is 79. So that helps us. How about 78, Mike? 78. 78, right? That helps us, and that was a tough one to start with, but let's continue on. Use the distributive property to rewrite the algebraic expressions. Okay, so when we have it, this is a more traditional way to use the distributive property. What we're going to do is we're going to distribute that through there. How are we going to do that? Well, 3 times x plus 3 times 1. And you'll notice I'm using the dots. Now, what we're going to do is go ahead and combine these, right? We can multiply unlike terms, meaning we can multiply a variable and a constant. So that's 3x plus 3 times 1 is 3. So this is simplified using the distributive property. We distributed it through. It will take some time. Don't fight it now, okay? All right, next one up. 5 times the quantity of x plus 8. So it's 5 times x plus 5 times 8. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 8 is 40. Now, you may ask, well, why aren't we combining this 5x and the 40? You can't add unlike terms, but you can multiply them, and that's kind of a rule in math that you're going to have to get used to, okay? Number 4. 4 times x plus 4 times 6, right? I distributed this through both numbers, just like I did the last problem. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 6 is 24, and circle it up, okay? And we're going to do a lot of this together, and believe me, we're going to have to do a lot of reps together. Number 5, factor each expression, right? When we want to factor, we may want to use our calculator here. And we may want to use, remember the GCF? We may want to ask ourselves, hey, it might be easier just to go to that calculator. So I'm going to go down to GCD. I hit the math button. I'm going to come down to GCD. I'm going to enter 25, second, comma, 60. I'm just going to hit enter, and I'm going to find out using my calculator that the GCF, right, I'm going to write that there. When we want to factor, we want to use the greatest common factor. The GCF of those two numbers is 5. So if I want to rewrite this using the distributive property, so I want to rewrite this like that. 5 times the quantity. 25 divided by 5 is 5. 60 divided by 5 is 12. So now this equals this. If I distributed it back through, I would get 25 plus 60. Okay. All right, let's try another one here. What do you think the greatest number that's going to go into 4 and 40 is? Well, clearly it's going to be 4. So let's rewrite this using the GCF of 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Bring the x along for the ride. 40 divided by 4 is 10. Now, there's a better way to write this. We don't need that coefficient of 1 there. So what we could do is write it like that. And I'm sorry, it's down into the shaded area, but that's where it is. So this is fine, but this is better, right? Okay. Let's continue on the next page very quickly, and let's do a few more, okay? And hopefully, you know, and it's hard. We're going to spend a few days on this, so you may be confused. The water may be a little muddy, but that's okay. Okay? All right, let's continue on here. All right, so first one up. When we have a problem like this, we want to write that in expanded form. So that's really 40 plus 4. I'm going to distribute my 9 through both. 9 times 40 plus 9 times 4. There's this, and this is 360. This is 36, and we get 396. That's the distributive property. That is at its best, right? Breaking the number down and going from there. Okay, I'm going to break that down. 4 times 5 plus 4 times an eighth. 4 times 5 is 20. And then put that over 1. Factor it out, right? We get a half. And we end up with 20 and a half. Last one, you have a decimal. That decimal in expanded form is 3 plus 8/10. So I'm going to factor that 7 right through both of them. Multiply it. 7 times 3 plus 7 times 8/10. 21. 7 times 8 is 56. Move it over 1. 21 plus this is 26 and 6/10. Okay. And I'm going to have to cut this short because I have to go to bus duty. I apologize, but you're getting the idea. If you struggle with this, just try your best. Try to factor in and factor out and go from there. Okay, bye.